Good morning, 7th graders, and welcome to lesson 2.4. Today we're going to be talking about the percent equation. We're starting on page 130. So our previous section involved using the percent proportion. So we did the PAW formula, just to jog your memory. That was A over W equals P, which is over 100. So that is the way that uses fractions, right? These are two fractions and we would cross multiply. We're going to use the percent equation, which is just a different way to find some of the same information. So we're still going to be using P and A and W, but we're going to put them in a different order. And that's just another way to solve it, but this time we're going to use decimals. So if you want to think of percent proportion as fractions, percent equation is decimals. So we're still going to be finding the percent, still finding the part, and still finding the whole. So if you recall the PAW formula, P A over W equals P over 100, we would view that we would have to divide. So in order to, when we switched up the order, we solved our equation a little bit differently. This makes it a little bit easier to solve using a one-step equation. So if we can use what this is called the percent equation to solve problems that involve the percent, it's a little bit easier. So we're still going to use our A for part, our P for percent, and our W for whole. So we're still going to be picking out the A, the W, and the P, but we're going to be multiplying. So this formula, or this equation, is part equals percent times whole. Part equals percent times whole. So, for example, this 3, I can see that's the part, that's the percent, and remember when it says of followed by a number, that tells us that's going to be the whole. So we're going to multiply percent times whole equals a part. Now, something very, very important as we're solving this is note this right here. Note that the percent is written as a decimal. So we need to make our decimal back into a percent. So in order to use the percent equation, we need to change, you can see here, our percent into a decimal. Our answer, we flip back into a percent otherwise. So if you don't remember how to make decimals into percents or percents into decimal, attached to this video in Google Classroom, there are a couple videos for changing decimals to percents and percents to decimals in case you needed a little reminder of that. So let's look at example 1 here. Example 1 says, what number is 12% of 150? Well, just like what we did in our last section, we're going to identify the P, the A, and the W. So what number is 12% of 50? Well, I can see this is clearly my percent of 50 because it's a number followed by the word of. That's going to be my whole. So we're going to be finding the A. So we don't know what we want to find that number. So what do we need to find? Do you need to find the percent, part, or whole? Well, this first one, we're going to find the part. I'm going to skip this estimate there. So what we're going to do is we're going to solve A equals P times W. When I solve, I'll solve mine right here. Every time I like to copy down the equation so that I can see exactly what I'm going to do so I know how to show my work. So we're finding the part, so I can just leave the A. My P is 12%, so 12% as a decimal. I get rid of the percent sign. 2 places to the left, so 0.12 times my whole, which is 150. So the equation that I'm going to be solving is 0.12 or 12/100 times 150. 0.12 times 150 equals 18. So A equals 18. So to answer the question, what number is 12% of 150? Well, 18 is 12% of 150. Okay. Let's go ahead and try, let's try one more on your own from the Got It's. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so we can see. Let's do the Got It number 1 together. Then I'm gonna let you do B, C, and D on your own. So what is 6% of 200? Well, I see that my of 200, I know that's my whole, and this is my percent. So I'm gonna solve right on this little sticky note here. A equals P times W, and I'm just gonna plug in my values. So we're looking at letter A here. We're finding the A, the percent, 6%. So I write that as a decimal, 0.06 times my W, which is 200. I'm going to solve 0.06 times 200. That equals 12. And that would be my answer. So just to double check to see if we answered the question correctly, we wrote an equation and then we solved. So on my line, I would write all of that information, or at least show me that you have written the equation and solved for the answer. So 2 parts of that. So go ahead and do B, C, and D on your own. B, C, and D on your own. Show me the equation. So write out the equation. We're going to show our work and then the answer. Once I see 3 of those correct answers with their equations, I will give you a sticker and you may move on. Good luck, 7th grade.